guys, I'm Aussie Villain. Welcome to episode 11 at the Colorado Rockies, and today we put a miserable 2020 season behind us and we play through the off-season, and we're going to look to try and strengthen ahead of a much better season next year, hopefully. We will get to our end-of-season awards in just a second, but before that I thought let's have a look and see what it is exactly we want to try and do today. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm relatively happy with what we have here. I think the one change, I'd like to get Desmond out, and I'd like to get maybe a proper center fielder in. Otherwise, I mean, there's a few players here like Nevin and Welker that will drop out because they've just been called up as youngsters. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with what we have here to go again next season. What we need to improve is the pitching. Now, we know that coming back into a starting rotation, we know that John Gray will be back fit. At some point, 8 months. He may not be back for the start of the year, but he'll be back at some point. But also back is Marquez, presumably. So that's two big players back into that bullpen, that starting rotation of ours, which means some of these can go back into the bullpen. So automatically, if injuries come back, we should be stronger for next season. But that said, we definitely need to try and still improve where we can. I'd like to get Wade Davis out, mainly because of his wages. He's a free agent next season. I'm hoping he's angry. He has an opt-out. I'm hoping he'll take that, to be honest. So let's... and if not, we have to pay $15 million for that opt-out anyway. So we'll see what happens anyway. We will try and get him out the door. That's one thing I would like to do. And Desmond's on a chunk of change as well. So where's Desmond here? He's on $15 million. So if we can get him out, there's, quite a bit of cash we've freed up. In terms of what we've got right now, this will probably change. We've got a little bit of cash to spend on free agents and extensions. There's no one we want to extend. If we look at the free agents for this season, there's no one there that I particularly want to keep. So I've gone through and sort of kept the guys I want to keep. So we're willing to let these guys go. So that is all well and good. But guys, that's what we want to do. We'll see how far we can get. But let's go off to the end of season awards. When we'll come back, we'll see who's won the World Series. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Colorado Rocky end of season awards. Stop your clapping. Stop clapping. These idiots don't deserve your applause. They were terrible all season. Stop it. Stop it. So, well, welcome everybody. And thank you for making the effort to come out to honor these idiots. We lost 100 games this season. It was an absolute disgrace. And the only way I think that's acceptable to begin the evening is to bring the players out one at a time for a public whipping. What? What do you mean the players' union said no? Well, what are we supposed to do then? Throw to the first award. The first award tonight is for the pitcher with the most wins. Now, it may shock you to realise that any of our pitchers have wins, but unfortunately, the man that happened to be on the mound when the batters got the job done, they do actually get a win for that, which is ridiculous in my opinion, but it is what it is. So, with 7 wins, I cannot believe it, the closer, Wade Davis. The next award is for the man with the highest batting average, and, well, at least the bats were with us this season. And this man was, I gotta say, the surprise of the season for me personally. He batted .340 this season, second in the league. That man is David Dahl. The next award is the Golden Bullseye, awarded to the man hit most by pitchers. And, well, 10 bruisers got the job done this season. And with those bruisers, the winner is Brendan Rodgers. The next award is the Golden Anchor, awarded to the man who drags the team down, the man who has hit into the most double plays. And this season, well, 18 was the record-winning number. Well, not a record, but the winning number, I should say. Well, we've just seen him up here. Bruisers and double plays. It's Brendan Rodgers. The next award is the Golden Boot, awarded to the pitcher who has issued the most walks. And, well, this season, walks were the least of the pitching issues, but they were certainly an issue. But 68 was the winning number this season. And the man with those 68 walks is Yency Almonte. The next award is the Golden Glasses, awarded to the hitter who cannot see the ball, the man with the most strikeouts. And this season, 167 strikeouts was the winning tally. And I tell you what, surprisingly, the winner is It's David Dahl. The next award is the Golden K, awarded to the pitcher with the most strikeouts. And, well, it wasn't a pitching award. I mean, we should have just counted them all, really, shouldn't we? But 145 strikeouts. The winner is Jeff Hoffman. The next award is the Golden Broom, awarded to the man who sweeps clean the bases, the man with the most RBIs, and the winner this season. It's the first time we've seen him up here tonight, and, well, he is an absolute star. 136 RBIs in the end. The winner is Nolan Arenado. The next award should be one that was cancelled, but it is the award for the best ERA. The less said about it this season, I think, the better. It will surprise you to realise the winner was under 8 runs ERA, but the winner with a 4.85 ERA is James Pazos. The next award is for the most home runs, and this guy so close to 50, so close to a club record, but it was a joint club record, and with 49 home runs this season, the winner is, of course, it's Nolan Arenado. The next award is the Horse's Ass, awarded to this season's worst player. And, well, let's be honest, it's impossible. It's absolutely impossible to separate anybody that threw a ball at a catcher's mitt this season. So the Horse's Ass is jointly awarded to the pitching staff. And now it's time to award the least worst pitcher, as it's going to be known this season. Now, there is a formula we use to determine this, and that, along with a list of tonight's winners, is down in the description below. But in third place with a score of 10.46, that's ridiculously low, it's Kyle Freeland. In second place with a score of 11.21, it's John Gray. But the winner with a score of 11.82, what a pathetic winning score that is, it's Jeff Hoffman. And now it's time to award the best batter. Now again, there is a formula we use to determine this, and again that is listed below in the description. But in third place with a score of 45.5, it's Brendan Rodgers. The runner-up with a score of 55.98, it's David Dahl. But the winner, of course, with a record score, well, of course it's a record score, it's the first season at the club, 99.96. Oh, it's a Donald Bradman, so close to the 100. The winner is, of course, it's Nolan Arenado. And now it is time to award the Golden All-Star for this season's Rookie of the Year. And, well, it can only be a hitter, can't it? Let's be honest. And it can only be one hitter. He was a star with the bat, with the glove as well, to be honest. So the Golden All-Star for the 2020 season is... it's Nolan Arenado. So there we go. That brings us to the end of the evening. Congratulations to Nolan and the other winners this evening. It's been a long season to be a Rocky. It's been a difficult season to be a Rocky. Hopefully, I still have a job. And I'll be able to see you all back again next season. We've got a big off-season of rebuilding to do. And if you don't mind, I've got to take off right now to begin that. So thank you for coming out this evening. Thank you for you watching at home. And again, hopefully I'll see you all again next season. Enjoy your evening. So there we go, end of season awards are done. Arenado is the only real choice, isn't he, for player of the season? Maybe David Dahl, but I don't think so. And your World Series champions are the Atlanta Braves. Now, given that we beat them 19-1 once this season, I'm going to say that gives us the moral World Series. But there we go, they absolutely sting through. Look at that, swept the Reds, swept the Dodgers, and just dropped the one game against the Indians. So... very comprehensive. Well done to the Atlanta Braves. And yeah, well, now we move into the offseason. The first thing we have to come up against is all the Major League Baseball awards. So we'll come back for the Golden Gloves, and I suspect we may have Arenado getting yet another Golden Glove at third base. So before we get to that, we do have a little bit of a decision to make here. Wade Davis has unfortunately decided to not opt out of the last year of his contract, so we've done it for him. basically there. So he is leaving, which is what we wanted. The owner, well, it looks as though we have a goal if we're getting a budget and season goals, so that is something. He's good with the performance and accomplishing goals. So next season we want to play 500, improve the team bullpen, which is ERA in general, sign Trevor Story to an extension, acquire a nationally popular player. So that's something we can look to do perhaps in free agency. Increase the average attendance. I mean, I don't know what anybody would... We score runs. No, that should be a problem. And keep building up the team in order to reach the playoffs in the next 4 seasons. We do feel like we're a long way away from that right now. The new budget... we have 200 million, so 150 million as for team payroll. So that seems reasonable. We've got some players retiring. We've got some coaches leaving. All this is fine. I've gone through. I've checked everything. I said I wanted a mass rehire in terms of backroom coaches. So that is exactly what we've got coming up here. And the other thing it looks like we've got before we get to these awards is the arbitration period. So we'll go and have a look at that here in just a second. What's happened there? I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Anyway, so there's some GMs that have hit the road, and thankfully we're not one of them. But arbitration, let's have a look here. Kyle Freeland. I mean, he's probably useful, isn't he? Where we're at right now. So let's go with that. John Gray, I think, is useful if he comes back fit, so that's fine. Antonio here, I do think he could have a role in our bullpen, if nothing else. So I would want to keep him for at least another year. He was injured for most of this season. Pazos was one of our better pitchers, so he's probably worth keeping around again for another season. So that's fine. Walters he's a good defensive catcher, so I'm okay to keep him. Yeah, that's fine. Now the one that I'm questioning is Diaz, because I think I prefer Sergeant Jeffers to him as the backup catcher, or sort of the rotational option at catcher. And he's out of option years. Is he tradable? Is the question, isn't it? He doesn't want too much. He wants a little bit. All right, we'll leave it with that. But I'm not convinced. Let's go 750. He's going to get more, isn't he? But anyway, so that's that. McMahon, I think, is definitely someone that's useful. Why didn't that go down? McMahon's useful, so I think we want to keep him. Oh, did I hit change? There we go. David Dahl, absolute star last season. We definitely want to keep him. And Tapia, again, was very useful, so we want to keep him. Davis, we've already shown him the door, and we've already got rid of anybody you want to keep there. So that's arbitration. So now it is time for the end of season awards. More awards, I should say, the MLB awards. So we'll be back for those again. Hopefully this time will actually happen. Okay, it is Golden Gloves as we start the Major League Baseball awards, and unsurprisingly, at third base, well, this is the American League, so I've given away something there, haven't I? But anyway, there's all the Golden Gloves winners. I'm used to playing at the Jays where we were first up. But National League, at third base, Arenado was the Golden Glove winner. He was the only one that we had, which is maybe a little bit of a shame, but yeah, well done to Arenado. Next up, we have the reliever of the year. Now, if it's pitching, it's got nothing to do with us, but we'll go and see who wins it anyway. So on the American League side of thing, it's this guy Chapman. He looks quite decent, doesn't he? At the Yankees there. We might just add him to the short list, though he is 32 and on $16 million a year, so maybe not one for us. Have a look at the National League side of things. It's Sam Salmon. I'm going to assume there was no one of ours anywhere near there, and that's absolutely right as well. But there we go. That is who won the American. No, who are we? National League, isn't it? Who won the National League Reliever of the Year? Next up, it is. Oh, and the trades are underway. Next up, it is. Who have we got next up? It's Platinum Stick Awards, Gold and Silver Sluggers, whatever they're called. So let's go and let's go see who won that. Okay, Silver Slugger time. We can have a look at the, the American League first. We can see all the winners there. Anybody obviously we recognize names. Anybody we've had in the past? I don't think so. And the National League side of things, we did have one, and it was Arenado at third base. He's won the Golden Glove Silver Slugger double, which surely can't happen too often. I mean, it probably does, and I just don't know. But wonderful stuff from Arenado. Now, this begs the question, is he MVP material? He has got to be in. I'm assuming MVPs generally go to teams that are good, but he's got to be a chance, doesn't he? He's got to be a chance. Next up, it's Rookie of the Year. We did have a few rookies in the team, so you never know. So the American League Rookie of the Year goes to Louis Robert. Let's have a quick look at him. A center fielder for the White Sox. Looks decent. Had a fairly good year, obviously. Batted .250, got some hits and some home runs and all that kind of fun stuff. But we care about our league, and it wasn't one of our boys. We didn't even have anybody in the conversation, really. It's Gavin Lux who's gone and won it. And oh my gosh, how is he just a rookie now? Anyway, imagine having someone that good and only paying them $500,000. What a star. Anyway, that's frustrating. Next up, it is Manager of the Year. I think we can, as much as we love Bruce Crabb, he probably hasn't earned it this year. So it's Terry Francona that wins it for the Indians. That's fair enough, given that they made the World Series. And it is the Atlanta Braves manager that wins it, which is all, again, very, very fair enough. The Japanese League have posted some players. We'll have a look there, see if there's anything that interests us. Seiya Suzuki, we've had him before at the Mets, haven't we? Anyway, next award, and we have got this guy, Nippon Ham Fighters. And we know he's really good for the Nippon Ham Fighters. I don't know if he's quite MLB standards, though. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Next up, it's Cy Young. We have no business. So for the American League, it is a familiar name to those of you who were with us with the Toronto Blue Jays. Blake Snell has won the Cy Young Award, which, well, we know how good he is because he was a star for us. We'll see if we can get him back in, but I don't think that's going to be possible. You can see everybody else there, the names that got close. And in the National League, it is Jake Flaherty of the... I keep getting like my mind blown with some of the players that I've honestly never heard of before. He is an absolute star. And you guys are just like, yeah, of course, Aussie villain, you moron. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to surprise you. Nobody of us is anywhere close to it. Now, here comes the MVP. I think Arenado's got to be a chance, just based purely on the numbers. But is playing for the Rockies going to hold him back? Let's find out. So in the American League, it is Joey Gallo that has won the award. We can see all the other names down there. And if we go over and have a look, it's not Arenado. He got third in the voting. So he was in the conversation, which is all we can really ask for. It's difficult, I think, to give it to him over someone that, the Nationals or the Braves, teams that, made the playoffs and were good teams. So I think it's fair enough. David Dahl was up there as well. He, as I said before, was a really good player for us. So at least we got two. Which is something. Next up, I believe, is going to be arbitration hearings and free agency, so we'll be back for that. Okay, it is arbitration hearing time. Let's have a look and see how he did. Now, Antonio S. here, whose name I cannot and will not say, he got what he wanted, which is a bit disappointing. Let's move up to Dahl. He got what he wanted. Well, why doesn't the arbitration board like me? So he's on 9 million. That's fair enough. He was a very good player for us last year. McMahon. He got what we wanted to give him. That's good. So he's got less. Tapia, he got a little bit less as well. He's worth more than that. Freeland, he got what? You're not worth $4 million a year, mate. You're just not. John Gray, he got $8 million. Jesus. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Pezos, he got his $850. Not what he wanted. The catcher Diaz, he got $750. That's fine. That's a very tradable amount. Walters got the 2.2 that we offered, which is fantastic. And we have a pitching coach that has joined us as well, which is excellent, and a manager as well. So we're filling up the backroom staff, which is nice. Next up, it's free agency. Let's see who becomes available. All right, so free agents are available. Now let's have a look. Now, reminder, we want a center fielder, which I see one here, who looks decent, and we want to then try and strengthen the pitching where we can. Now, this guy is not particularly good defensively, so that instantly, I mean, the bats aren't necessarily what we want. We want a good defensive player. So I'm not sure that old Joaquin there is our man. And there doesn't look like there's too much else that has come through from the international side of things. So that's a little bit disappointing. I would have liked, maybe we don't need a shortstop. Or do we need a shortstop? We wouldn't be against a shortstop. But I don't think he's our man. Not at 32 either. So there's not too much there, unfortunately. So that's a shame. Could he be a center fielder? No, not really. All right, so let's have a look at the major league side of things. And these are the big names. We could upgrade at catcher. Couldn't we? 20 million, though. I don't think we want to do that. Now, Gaussman is one that catches the eye. 18 million. A good starting pitcher might be worthwhile. Again, 18 million is a lot. The other name that instantly jumps out here is Mookie Betts, isn't it? Now, he's not a center fielder, but could he become one? I wish I could find out before I went and signed him. He's got good range. So maybe if we played him in centre field, he could become a centre fielder. So maybe he's one we look to. I mean, you can't really go wrong with. I mean, look at that bat. If nothing else, he might be worth having a defensive centre fielder. But otherwise, there's not too much there. Strootman is decent-ish, but nothing spectacular. So I'll go and have a look at these free agents now. We'll see who we can get in, where we can strengthen. There'll be some trades to do as well. It's go time. We have breaking news out of Colorado as the Rockies announced the signing of one-time All-Star pitcher Robbie Ray on a 7-year, $130 million deal. GM Aussie Villain told the press he is delighted to welcome Ray, who led the National League in strikeouts last season, saying that if they can't hit the ball, they can't score runs. Okay, so there we go. We have our first free agent signing of the season. We have got Robbie Ray in off of free agency. He was at the Diamondbacks last season. He led the league in strikeouts and in strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. He had a good WAR, 107 ERA. His WHIP was 122. ERA was a little bit high perhaps, but basically we've got a strikeout pitcher. My logic here is that you can't hit home runs, you can't get on base if you're striking out. So I'm hoping that we'll get the similar sort of information, sort of stats, not information, with information, similar sort of stats from him next season. He's on $18.5 million a year, and he's on a 7-year deal. Now at 29, that's a little bit longer ideally than I would have liked. He does have an opt-out, but I doubt at the age of 36 or 37 he's going to be taking that. But yeah, I'm hopeful that we'll get at least a few good years out of him, and then we'll sort of get stuck with him at the end, I suppose. But yeah, that is the plan. 18 million. Let me know what you think of that. I think my logic is solid in that, if he's going to strike batters out, then they're not going to get on base. He has a low whip in any case. So yeah, I'm relatively happy with that. Now we have done a trade as well, and that was with the San Francisco Giants. Now the player we've given up is a name you don't have to worry about because we were never and are never going to see him anywhere near a Major League Baseball field. But the player we've got is Tyler Anderson. Now, he is another starting pitcher. He is a free agent into this year. He's a lefty as well. He was at the Giants, as I said, last season. He had 26 starts, an ERA of 3.76. He had a whip of 130, a WAR of 2.1, ERA plus of 114. He's only on $4 million a year. I think he's a nice little addition to our starting rotation. If nothing else, he's a good option to have. He's got good stamina. And we basically gave up nothing for him. And like I say, if he doesn't work out, he's a free agent next season, end of next season. So, yeah, and we gave up nothing for him as well. So I'm really, really happy with that one. I'm feeling a little bit confident now about our pitching stocks. Okay, so it is Rule 5 draft time, and we're not going to be taking part, and the reason for that is because we've done a trade, and I've basically already got anybody that I wanted from here. So let's go and have a look at the trade. And it's a relatively large one. We've done it with the Kansas City Royals. We've given up our first baseman here, who, again, was never going to play for us. Let's have a look who else we've given up. Also, Ashton Godot, I guess you'd pronounce it. He lacks movement. He could be a decent pitcher, but yeah, I don't like the lack of movement. So we gave him up. And also, Kyle Dowie. Now, I traded for him last season. I thought there might be something there. His control was shocking. He went down to AAA after he didn't make it in the majors and had an ERA of 27 not too long. He went down to A+, and even at A+ level, he was just above average. He's already 24, so we've traded him away as well. In return, we've got Khalil Lee back. Now, of course, we had him at the where were we? At the Blue Jays. I'm wondering if he could be retrained as a center fielder. I'm doing it with everybody, basically, trying to find us a center fielder that could work. But I'm wondering if maybe he could work. But he was available on the Rule 5 draft, so we've gone and got him. We've also gone and got Jackson Kowar, I'm not quite sure how you say that. A very, very decent starter / bullpen pitcher. So that's all wonderful, wonderful depth. So we've got him, and we've also got Connor Green as well, another decent bullpen / starting pitcher. So I think we've done quite well for ourselves in that trade. We've got rid of not too much, and we've got in 3 players that could very well feature in our Major League team next season. Well, Junior, welcome to the Rockies. It's great to have a Golden Glover at the club. And hopefully you'll be a big success for us out there in center field. And who knows, maybe even claim a second Golden Glove. Okay, I'm hoping we have our center fielder, Jackie Bradley Jr. We've signed him from a free agent, or as a free agent for $4 million. I think it's for 4 years. We'll check that in just a second. He has won a Golden Glove as a center fielder. It was a few years ago, or 2 years ago now, so it's relatively recent. He puts in the long hours. He's got good outfield range there, fielding of 60. I'm hoping, I mean, that's not maybe fantastic, but I'm hoping that he'll be good enough to sort of fill in for us at center field until we get somebody better. And he's not the worst hitter going around. Maybe we'll get a few home runs out of him. He was at the Red Sox, and I mean, if we're completely honest, he wasn't setting the world on fire there. But if we put him down towards the bottom of the order, I'm hopeful we'll get something from him. Now, the contract, as I said, it's 4 years, $4 million. He has an option on the last year if he wants to stay or not. And by that point, hopefully, we would have either won a World Series, which is unlikely probably, or we'll have got somebody in that's a little bit younger and maybe even a little bit better. So that's our new center fielder. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Jackie Bradley Jr., hopefully he's going to do a job for us. Okay, just a quick update of a trade that we have done. Now, Kyle Freeland, this is a weird one, I've got to say, but Kyle Freeland has left us and gone to join the Red Sox. The reason for this is that he wasn't going to be in our starting rotation. He's on a little bit of cash. We were sort of above our budget, so this was an easy way to get some money off the books. So we sent him to Boston, and in return, so the first player we got in was DeMarcus Evans. Now, it looks a lot like Dowie, who we got rid of earlier this offseason. A little bit more potential there for control. So we'll see how he gets on. We also got in Zach Godley. Now, you will notice that Zach Godley is on $900,000 a year, and he's also back at the Red Sox. Now, the reason for that is that having completed this trade, I was trying to get rid of basically the other $1 million we have here. So in place of Godley, we then got a minor league player in Ryder Jones, who looks an absolutely phenomenal first base, third base option. And right now he's just a minor league contract. So we've got all of Kyle Freeland's wages off the books. And we've also got ourselves a very, very decent corner infielder, which is absolutely superb. So I'm quite happy with what we've done here. We've lowered the money. And we've basically got in Jones and DeMarcus as replacements. Okay, we are at spring training, which brings us to the end of the episode, but let's have a quick look at what we've done before we end things up here. If we have a look at pitching, now this is how I kind of see our starting rotation. We have Robbie Ray as the number one guy. We're paying him a lot of money, so he might as well be number one. Number two, I think Herman Marquez is got to be number two in the rotation. He's back fit, and hopefully he'll be a really good guy for us this season. Number three, I see Tyler Anderson in that role. Obviously, this could all change, and spring training will go some ways towards, confirming this. Number four in the rotation, he was brilliant for us last year, so I think Peter Lambert, he might even drop down to 5, depending on who we get in as the number 4. And then we have obviously a lot of options. I think Junior Fernandez will be our closer this year. He wasn't great last year, but he went back to AAA, did a really good job. So I'm thinking he could well come up and fill in for Wade Davis, who has left the club. And we'll kind of fill in the rest of these roles. We've got a lot, and I mean a lot of pitching options. So we'll kind of fill in the bullpen and a number 5 starter. I'm kind of leaning towards Hoffman right now till John Gray comes back fit. But we'll wait and see. As I said, we'll see how spring training. I need to pick somebody, don't I, anyway? So let's just stick him in there for now. The other main option, I think, is maybe Valdez as a starter. But I think maybe with that stamina, he might be better suited to the bullpen. But anyway, that is sort of work to be done there. Now, in terms of the actual outfield team, whatever you want to call it, we've got our 2 catchers in Ryan Jeffers as the backup. I'm assuming at this point with Walters being the number 1 guy. If we have a quick look at first base options, Evan White, for the most part, will certainly get the chance to start there. The backup for first base will be Ryan McMahon, though he could just as easily step in and do a good job with the bat as well. So they'll battle it out for that. Our second baseman is going to be Brendan Rodgers. So that will be his shirt to lose for the season. The shortstop will be Trevor Story. Now, he's a free agent into this year. The owner wants us to renew him. I'm not convinced. Well, he's going to have a big year. He only batted .261 last year. He's going to need to have a big season to convince me he's our shortstop going forward. The third baseman will obviously be Arenado. What a star he was last year. If we can get another season like that out of him, then we'll go a long way towards doing a good job. The outfield, we're going to have in center field Jackie Bradley Jr., the new man. Hopefully he he won't let us down. In left field, we're going to move over. In right field, we're going to have David Dahl. He'll move over to play right field for us this season. He could play left field, but that job is going to go to Tapia. Although maybe Tapia 50 in right field. Maybe we actually do want to switch them because he's better in left field and it's only slightly better in right field. So that's something I'll probably have to look at. I think of rough maths. I think we might want to switch them over. The right fielder to start the backup outfielder will be Palenko to start the season. We have other options that have come up. I'm wondering Sam Hillard if he could be a center fielder, though unlikely that he's going to improve too much. And the other option, I think, maybe is Khalil Lee, potentially as a center fielder. But again, I don't know how well they're going to improve. Hampson will be one of the infielders as a rotation option, just a backup option as well. And that's kind of how I see the squad shaping up. Now, we have made some changes on the personnel front as well. Among other things, we got a new pitching coach. Actually, I don't want him to be the pitching coach. Where's the guy I got in? Nathan Bannister, fine pitching coach. We want you up as the pitching coach in Colorado. He refuses to be denoted, so we'll take care of that. But anyway, hitting coach, I think we already had that. He was supposed to be good. Well, I had a good hitting coach somewhere. Anyway, I'll fix all that up. The two guys that we've hired, we've got a new scouting director, highly favors tools, which hopefully that won't mean he'll actually hire tools, you know what I mean. And the new team trainer as well, which is just a general all-round upgrade. So hopefully we'll see less injuries this season as a result of having the better team trainer. So that's how we're going. We'll play through spring training. We'll be back next time for opening day. Opening day, I believe, is against the Padres. It is. So we'll go to San Diego and, well, I'm full of hope right now. We'll go to San Diego and have all our hope dashed on opening day. But until then, guys, I've been Aussieville. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Hit thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video, and let me know how you think we've done in the break there. Yeah, we've still got spring training to do some work, but I think I'm pretty happy with what we have. Take care.